Hi guys and welcome back to the tutorial series Core Java Basics from Java for Noobs. Now let's get into the most important concept of Java, that is the OOP concept. Okay, so basically there are two types of programming languages. First, POP or POP or procedure oriented programming. Second, OOP or OOP or the object oriented programming. First, let us see what a POP is. So, what do we understand by a procedure? A process, right? A way of doing something. That is what a procedure means. So, we can understand that a POP is the type of programming language where we follow a described way of doing something. So, basically, in POP, we write a set of instructions in the program, and these instructions are executed one by one, line by line. This means in a POP, the programs are executed in sequence. Now, what if there needs to be hundreds of lines in a program? A POP is a sequential execution. So, one by one, we have to write hundreds of lines. Now, what if we have a bug somewhere in a code, say at 68th line? So, to debug, we will need to check all the lines one by one from the beginning and then reach the line 68th. This is too much. We developers are fragile. We can't take so much load. So, if we do not want to work hard, we work smart. This led to the creation of the concept of functions. Let me explain to you what a function is. So, imagine we want to make a fruit shake. So, you will need fruits, milk, and sugar. Okay? Now, consider there is no supermarket in the neighborhood. So you will need to visit the fruit shop, milk shop and grocery shop one by one and get all the three ingredients. Then make the fruit shake. Right? So let's consider this is our programming domain where we are going to code the fruit shake program. So what are the steps that we need to follow to make a fruit shake? First of all, we get our wallet or money. Then visit fruit shop, pay money, buy the fruits. Second, visit the milk shop, pay money and buy the milk. Right? After that, visit the grocery shop. Again, pay money and buy sugar. Now we have all the ingredients, right? So to make the fruit shake, let's say we need to cut the fruits, blend it with the milk, add the sugar that we brought, finally pour into a glass, and at the end enjoy your shake. Right? So these are the steps that we need to follow to make a fruit shake. Now let me explain to you what a function means. So instead of visiting the shop one by one, what we'll do is ask some other person to go to the shop and bring me the ingredients. So for example, let's say this is a guy who is going to the market and he will get me the fruits. So let's say get fruits. Alright. Similarly, we have another guy who will go to the market and he will get me milk. Okay. In the same way, I have one more guy who will go to the market and get me the sugar. Okay. In fact, I will have another person who will even make the milkshake for me. I'm not going to make it myself. So make shake. Okay. So let's use these two lines of codes also. So the money is here, and finally I'm enjoying my shake. So from money I am going to each and every shop, getting all the ingredients, then making my own shake, and after that I am enjoying my milkshake. Now these codes are converted to the second form, which says I have money, I am giving the money to some other person, he is getting me fruits. Same way I am giving the money to some other person and he is getting me milk. Same way I am getting sugar and some other person is making the shake for me, and finally I am getting the shake. Okay. So this individual units of work, that is get fruits, get milk, get sugar, make shake, these are nothing but functions. So functions are individual units, a set of codes, individual set of codes which is used to perform certain action. So in this case, let me show you that what this particular function is doing. So we are having four sets of functions. So these are the four sets of functions, right? Now this fruit function is this, the milk function is this one, the sugar function is this one, and the shake function is this. So basically, if we are using a function, we need to provide something to the function and the function gives us back something. So what we are providing here is money and the function gives us back something. What this function is giving us back? That is the fruit. So here we are giving money to the function and the function is returning us the fruits. Okay. Same way the second function must return something. The third function is returning something and the fourth function is also returning something, right? So we are giving something, we are getting something. The same way we are giving something here and we are getting something back from the function. The same is true for this function as well. Okay. Again, here what we are giving is money again. Same to this function also, we are giving money. For this function again, we are giving money, right? This function is returning us milk. This function is returning sugar. And this function is making shake and returning the shake to us, right? So basically what we mean is these sets of code is moved from this complete set of program to this particular function block. Same way, this set of code is moved to another block. This set of codes is moved to another block, and the same thing happens to this set of codes, and it is also moved to another block, right? Now we are giving something here and we are getting something back from the function. So these two things are called parameter and return type. So what we are providing to the function, we have two names for it. Okay, one is called parameter and one is called argument. Now what is a parameter and what is an argument? So in the function side that we give, it is called a parameter. This is a parameter. This is present on the side of the function, right? And from the side from where we are calling the function, that is called argument. So basically the money that we are providing, so if we are providing the money from our main set of codes, so this is our main set of code. Okay, this set of code is the main set of code. So at the side of this code, the money will be called as an argument, and on the side of the function, the money will be called as parameter. Okay, and the return type, that is the fruit, is simply called return type. We just call this a return type. Okay, so the concept of function is clear. We need to make shake, we need different ingredients, we need to go to the market and buy each and every ingredient and then make the fruit shake. So that is what this complete code is, right? Now what we have done is divided the work into several functions. One function gets me the fruit, the other function gets me the milk, the third function gives me the sugar, and the fourth function makes the milkshake, right? So that is what the concept of function is. Now what we discussed is, imagine there is a error or a bug in the code on the 68th line that we discussed earlier, right? Let's say when you are enjoying your shake, right, at that time you feel like there's something wrong with the shake. It's not sweet, it's tasting like salty or sour, right? So at that time you need to find out why this is happening to the shake. Now, if we are not following the function, what will happen? We will have this complete set of code to debug. We will go line by line, each of the line, and check where the problem is, why the shake is tasting sour or salty. Okay, but if we are following this set of code, that is the functional approach. So in this way, we know that if the shake is not sweet, there is some problem with the sugar, right? So we directly go to the code of sugar, and it leads to us here, the three lines of code. So instead of going through all these lines, we have minimized our effort to these three sets of line. This is the most important benefit of using a function. Okay, so I believe the concept of function is clear now. So basically function is nothing but dividing the work, the dividing the lines of code into smaller units, smaller sets of code that perform a single function, a single job. Okay, so that is what a function is. So coming back to our slide. So like if we are creating a program of calculator, right? So make a function to do the addition, make another function to do the subtraction, other for multiplication, and the same way make a function for division. Do not place all the code inside one single function. This is a good coding practice. So that is the procedure oriented programming. Now, when we come to the second type of programming language, it is OOP or object oriented programming. The function concept in OOP is what we called method. There's no difference between function and method. The only difference is in Java we call as methods. So what is an object oriented programming? Let us see in detail. So basically the object oriented programming has the concept of class and object. Okay, so the official definition of class is, in object oriented programming, a class is an extensible program code template for creating objects, providing initial values for state, that is the member variables, and implementation of behavior, that is member functions or methods. So it says here, class is a program code template, right? And what this template has are state and implementations, right? Let me elaborate this. Let us consider an actual world scenario. Say in a school we have different classes, right? Classes comprise of students. So let us have a class of students, a class in a real world. And let's imagine we have here a class in Java. We will map these two classes for our understanding. So let's say this is a class in our real world. This is a class in Java. So this class, the name of the class is student, right? Now these students that are in one class will all have some features like name, roll number, number of subjects, and favorite subject. Okay, so let's say the student has a name, the student has a roll number, the student takes the number of subject and the favorite subject of the student. Okay, now let us consider some work that can be done by the students. So a student can study, a student can play, a student can do drawing, right? So these are the works that a student can do: study, play, and draw. Okay, so now what these are? So basically this thing, the first line, this is what we call class name, and mostly, in fact every time, this class name is a noun. Okay, now we have the characteristics of student. So our name, a roll number, the number of subjects taken by the student, and the student's favorite subject. These are the characteristics of the students, or what we call it as the state, or member variables. Okay, now the third part, that is the things that a student can do. So a student can study, a student can play, and student can draw as well. So these things that a student can do is called the implementation, which mostly are verb, and this implementation is also called methods. Now you remember what methods are? Methods are the functions. So study, play, and draw can be considered as separate functions. Okay, so this is the student class in real world scenario. Now what will be the corresponding Java class look like? So a Java class will look like this: a class student, it has the name, the student has a roll number, the student has number of subjects, the student has a favorite subject. Now we have the methods. So the student can study, the student can play, and the student can draw. So this is what a Java class looks like. So now we know what a class is, what is the state and implementation. Now let's move on to the object. So in a class-based object-oriented programming paradigm, object refers to a particular instance of a class where the object can be a combination of variables and functions. So we have a class student with name, roll number, number of subjects and favorite subject. Okay, let us redesign this architecture in a different way. Let's say we have a class student here, the same class student. Okay, now what were the member variables of this class student? The member variables were 4, 3 and 4. So what were the member variables? The name, the role, number of subjects and favorite subject, right? So these were 4 member variables of the student, right? Now this is a class, that means there are many students in a class and every student has these 4 characteristics. Every student has a name, every student has a roll number, every student has a list of subjects with them and a favorite subject of that student. So let us imagine we have 4 students, right? The first student is here. The name of the student is Alan. Roll number is 01. Number of subjects taken by Alan is 7. And the favorite subject of Alan is maths. Okay, we have student number 2 here. This is another student. And this student's name is Bella. Roll number 2. Number of subjects taken is 3. And the favorite subject is history. And similarly, we have one more student who is the part of this class student. Okay, and the details of this student is the name Damon, the roll number is 03, number of subjects taken 07, and the favorite subject is physics. Okay, so what we have here, a class, right? So a class student has member variables name, roll number, number of subjects and favorite subject. Now this class has 3 students, Alan, Bella and Damon. So these 3 students are what called as the objects of the class. Alright, so these are the objects of the class student. Got it? So this object are nothing but an instance of student. right? So every instance of the student class is termed as an object. Okay, so I believe this architecture is clear, right? So let me explain it once more. Here we have a class student with the member variables name, roll number, number of subjects, and the favorite subject. And here is what we call the objects. That means the instance of class student, and that is an object. So individual student of the class is the object of the class. Okay, got it? So that is what an object is. Coming to method, well, we have already understood in detail what a method is when we made our fruit milkshake, right? So let us just go through the definition once. A method is a set of code which is referred to by name and can be called at any point in a program simply by utilizing the method's name. Think of a method as a subprogram that acts on data and often returns a value. So this line is what telling everything about a method. So a method is a subprogram, like I said, a separate unit of code which takes in some value and returns some value. So remember, in our milkshake program, the method that acted on data, which was money, and returned value, which was fruits, milk, or sugar, right? Okay guys, so this was the most important concept of Java. In the next video, we will learn about variables, data types, and operators in Java. And after that, we will be ready to get into some serious coding. So please like, subscribe, and share this video with other noobs out there. Also stay tuned to my channel Java for Noobs for more videos. See you next time. Bye bye. Take care.